Okay, first things first, I want to show you guys these posters that I was gifted recently because I just need to show you. Do you see? Do you see? Can you see? The lighting is crazy right now, I'm so sorry. But look, they're MEG movie posters. I love them so much. I don't even really have posters anymore, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with these, but I'm sure I'll find some place to put these. I just really wanted to show these to you guys. I hope you think they're cool-ish, maybe? Okay. Anyway, how are you? I hope you're good. Welcome to the second part of the MEG discussion, MEG by Steve Alten. For those of you that watched the first part, kudos to you because that was really long. That was around 20 minutes. My goodness. I just would not stop talking. I'm so sorry. I'm going to keep this one really short and sweet, hopefully. We'll see. Okay, let's jump right in. The last time we talked, I left off around, I think, the lagoon? Yeah, the lagoon. And today I'm just going to briefly talk about the section up till Battle at Sea, so about 100 pages or so. And last time we left off where Jonas had just found out that his wife Maggie and friend Bud were having an affair, and that, you know, awful. And then this person that he used to know once upon a time, her name is Terry, shows up and convinces Jonas to fly out with her to Monterey to an institute, the Tanaka Institute, which is run by her father, Meso sent her because he needs Jonas's help for reasons that are not known yet. So she convinces him to fly out with him, and they fly out to Monterey, and Jonas is very wary at first because Terry, this woman, is flying the plane, and he's freaking out, saying, "You can't do that, what are you doing?" And she gets very feisty and says, "What do you mean? What do you mean I can't fly this plane? You watch me." And she does all of these flips and tricks and 360s in the air, and then Jonas gets sick and pukes in a paper bag, I think, or something. But they get to Monterey, and they get to the Tanaka Institute. Jonas and Meso basically have this cute little reunion, this heart-to-heart, and it's very nice and sweet, whatever, okay. And then Meso asks Jonas for his help with this institute. This institute, or it's called the Tanaka Institute, is basically a whale observatory, I guess you could say. It's this huge lagoon where whales can swim in and out as they please. They're not held captive. It's just a nice little habitat for them to go to, and then I'm guessing being studied and viewed by people, but they're not held captive. They can come and go as they please, which is really cool. So this is Meso's dream. You know, he had a terrible upbringing, and this has just been his passion ever since. But the institute isn't yet completed, and he's being funded by these really higher ups. They have this little switch off going. Meso is letting them use these submersibles that he created in the Marianas Trench that helps with like an early warning earthquake system. And in letting them using those, they are then, you know, funding this whole institute to be built. But I guess what happened is one of those little submersibles down below in the trench stopped working. This is like the second or the third one that's malfunctioned. So they need to go down there and figure out what's going on. And Meso asked Jonas, a pilot, to go down there and see what's going on with his son DJ. And of course Jonas at first says basically no, because what happened before, he can't do it. But when they're looking at footage that was recorded down there, Jonas sort of zooms in on this clip and he sees this little white triangular spot and just automatically assumes that's a tooth. It's a megalodon tooth. It has to be. And everyone starts laughing. They call him crazy, blah, 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 blah. He's the crazy shark guy. But this convinces him to say yes and then pilot a sub down there with Meso's son DJ. And then there's Terry, and Terry gets really angry about this because I guess she wanted to pilot one of the subs and go down there with her brother because she'd been preparing for so long, and now she's getting denied, and instead Jonas gets to go. So she's really, really angry, rightfully so, but her character is written in such a way where she just comes off as very whiny and annoying and just, my goodness, Terry, stop. So Jonas and DJ do pilot the subs. They go down into the trench, and they find the little Eunice machines, whatever, and Jonas spots that little area where he had first seen on the screen, the little white speck. So he goes over there and he inspects and he says, oh my gosh, it is the tooth. He pulls it out and it turns out to be a piece of a starfish or something. And then everyone on the screens just starts laughing and making jokes. Jonas is crazy. He's obviously really embarrassed because that really just solidified the fact that, well, maybe he was seeing things down there before when he obviously didn't, but that's what he's telling himself. Oh no, you know, I didn't see a shark. I saw just other stuff, or I was crazy. But then on their sonar screens, there's a blip. There's a boop, a thing. There's something on the sonar. And at first they say, oh, it's a school of fish. Yeah, it's a school of fish, it's fine. But then that school of fish zones in and starts tracking DJ and Jonas. It starts tracking their subs and it starts following them. That's not a school of fish. No, it's not. Jonas starts freaking out. He says, DJ, turn off your lights, turn off your power, just shut everything down. That's what he does. That's what Jonas does. He's safe, everything's fine. And DJ says, you're crazy. And then DJ turns and looks and sees the shark come into view and swim right on past them or right towards them. He shuts all his power off and then says to Jonas, he says, okay, Doc, I swear I'm a believer. So what's your plan? I think that's exactly what he said, actually. Is that what he said? Okay, Doc, I swear to you I'm a believer. So what's your plan, basically? How did I remember that? I've read this book so many times that I just remember the lines now, I guess. That's bad. That's not good. Oh well. Anyway, so Jonas tells DJ that as soon as they're able to, they really just have to rocket to the surface because the shark won't follow them past a certain point because there's layers in the water. You have the top layer and then the middle layer is where it's really, really cold. And then you have the bottom layer where it's really hot, and that's where the sharks prefer to stay. So that's their plan, essentially, just to race to the surface. And they're about to do that, but I guess when the shark swims by, a current hits Jonas's sub and he just starts tumbling away and he loses power and he gets knocked out, so he's just completely out. When that happens, DJ sees an open opportunity and he just races towards the surface. And of course, the shark immediately starts chasing DJ, and it's a race to the surface. It's a race, and DJ is this adrenaline junkie, so he's getting a kick out of this, even though it's basically life or death right now. There's a moment where DJ thinks that he made it and everything's fine and dandy and he won and success, right? But then the shark just comes right in from the side and just attacks the sub. And because the shark is biting down on the sub, DJ is now open to the environment. And being that he is 7 miles down in the trench, that's a lot of pressure. So much pressure that he implodes in on himself. Just imagine that. Imploding in on oneself, and his brain and everything just splatters instantly all over the inside of the sub. That is disgusting, but so cool. So then Jonas eventually wakes up and he's watching all of this. He sees the shark eating the inside of, obviously, the bits and pieces of DJ inside the sub. He's probably thinking, well, this is it, I'm done. But you know what? Hey, at least I was right. At least I did really see the shark. Props to you, Jonas. You're not as crazy as you once thought you were. While this is going on, up top, the people realize that they're not getting communication. They're freaking out. Terry obviously is worried for her brother, as well as Meso. So they decide to pull up DJ's sub. And this is where things start getting weird. I mean, they're already weird, but they just start getting very weird and just not believable. Because this megalodon is still eating bits and pieces of DJ in the submersible, and the submersible is getting pulled up. There are cords everywhere. They somehow entangle around the shark, and the shark gets stuck. So the shark is now being pulled up to the surface with the submersible and it can't escape. Okay, so that happens. Poor shark. Not too far away there is another megalodon, a female megalodon, and she hones in on this megalodon, which is a male, and sees that it's in distress. So she figures, easy meal, right? There's a meal right there. So she, comes up from underneath and attacks this megalodon that's stuck and starts eating him. All of his blood and guts and intestines and everything just starts oozing out of its body and starts gushing over this female megalodon. This female megalodon doesn't want to let go of her prey, so she follows this submersible up to the surface. And like I said before, with the layers of water, the sharks don't like to go into the cold layer. But because this female is chomping away on this megalodon, she's basically protected by this layer of heat, of blood and guts, and is able to rise to the surface via blood and guts. And just, it's so weird. I don't like it. I don't get it. I mean, it's fine. It's the way the story is. It's how we get sharks to the surface. It's how we have our story, right? We need to have some sort of way for the sharks to rise to the surface, but this is just way out there. You're telling me that this shark is able to rise to the surface because it was covered in a protective layer of blood and guts. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna judge. That's cool. I'm sorry, I'm just making myself laugh. Meanwhile, as this is going on, Jonas is watching everything, utterly terrified, I guess, as you would be if you were in that situation. Jonas, is able to get it together, I guess. He makes it to the surface. He survives. He's our main protagonist, of course he's going to live. But before Jonas makes it to the surface, DJ's submersible obviously makes it up first. And when the sub breaches the surface, Terry and her father are obviously fingers crossed hoping that DJ's okay. But what they see rise to the surface is a mangled submersible, blood and guts everywhere, a giant male megalodon shark head that's severed because it just got eaten by a larger female megalodon, and Terry faints. She faints. And everyone is shocked, obviously thinking, oh my gosh, Jonas, he was right. There are sharks, megalodon sharks, they're real, they're here. Oh my gosh, what do we do? Blah, blah, blah. Ah, that's what happens. That's exactly what happens. News travels very fast, and soon enough the entire world knows that the megalodon is not extinct. It's real, it's alive, it's around. Get out of the water or you're gonna die. Maggie, Jonas's wife, is on a yacht with Bud, just relaxing, when she sees the news on the TV and just goes pale and says, oh my god, Jonas was right. And she sort of has an oh fuck moment because, her husband is now famous again. What should she do? She should ride off of that fame and use that to her advantage because she's the Wicked Witch of the West. She flies out to Guam at the hospital where Jonas is at and tries to play the nice wife, the oh my gosh, are you okay? I'm so worried, blah 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 blah. And Jonas says, leave me alone, you're evil. That's not what he says, but that's sort of what happens. Jonas is then approached by all of these higher-ups, the Navy, everyone in charge, just everyone. And because Jonas is the shark guy, the expert, the person that knows the megalodon, they kind of sort of throw everything on him and say, we need your help to kill the shark. We have to kill the shark. And Meso and Terry are there, and Meso says, no, we cannot kill the shark. We have to protect this shark. Yes, we have to protect the shark, even though the shark just killed your son. Meso throws out an idea. He says, let's capture the shark and we could keep it in the Tanaka Institute. Let's do that. That's what DJ would want. And Terry says, no, the shark killed my brother. I want the shark dead. But no one cares about what Terry's saying. Instead, everyone says, oh, that's a solid idea. Let's do that. And that's what they're going with. That's the plan. They plan to shoot the shark with a tranquilizer and then drag it to the Tanaka Institute. How are they going to do that? Very carefully. How are they going to find the shark in the vastness that is the ocean? Very carefully. I don't know. Is that where I want to end this? Oh my gosh. There's a scene where they're out in a helicopter and they're chasing after the shark. And the shark, oh my gosh, the shark dives down deep and they're wondering what's going on. And then Jonas, a light bulb goes off in his head and he figures out, he says, oh my gosh, fly up higher. And then in that instant, the shark shoots up from the surface and tries to eat the helicopter. It is gold. It is literary gold. Can you see this picture? I don't know if you could see, but it's the shark trying to eat the helicopter. My goodness, that part is one of my favorite parts of the entire book. The sea exploded in a bloody froth as the Megalodon launched its girth out of the water at its challenger. The conical snout struck the helicopter's undercarriage, shattering the thermal imager. The mid-air collision sending the chopper sideways. They live though. They live. They're fine and dandy. Oh my goodness, it's so ridiculous, you guys. It's so ridiculous. I think I want to end this discussion there because there's a couple other things I could say, but I would rather get into all of the fun, ridiculous action for the last section of the discussion. So the last section is going to be from Battle at Sea to the end of the book. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, maybe. Again, I hope this video wasn't too long, but it probably will be, let's be honest. For those that are reading along, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Again, I want to say thank you so much to everyone that is participating, and to those that are jumping in later, thank you so much for joining in now. You can join in whenever you want, I don't care. Don't forget to use the hashtag Megalong. Everyone's reactions and thoughts in that hashtag is so entertaining. I love reading everyone's thoughts. It's just wonderful. I think that's all I have to say for today. So I hope you guys have a great day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye.